Good afternoon, everybody. Do you see my phone wiggling? Yeah. It's doing it all by itself. I have no control over it, but as soon as I started talking about it, look at what happened. It stopped. Yeah. Because the criminals, the predators, community-based agents, the go-along to get-alongs, they don't want you to see because that's evidence. When my phone wiggles like that, that is evidence of third-party interference and radio frequency interference. So anyway, it's December 5, 2024. I believe it's Thursday. Yeah, I finally figured out what day of the week it is. It's Thursday. Well, it's been a little bit windy here. It's been cold. Not as cold as it was last week. It's like in the 40s, but it feels colder because of the winds. And we've still got some snow and some moisture in the air and stuff. But, you know, these losers, the predators, you know, the pops, mops, cops, lops, wops, they don't take a break, ever. No, they don't take a break, ever. So today, I woke up. Here, I'll show you. Stupid perp tricks. Immature, dumb, psyop, they're sneaky little effers, right? So, okay, so, you know, the plausible deniability is, well, it was windy last night. Stuff is going to, you know, it's going to move around and stuff. But I was up pretty late last night. I actually took a nap, and my nap lasted until 3 o'clock in the morning. So I was awake. And I showered and everything. By the time I got into bed and fell asleep, it was way past 4 o'clock in the morning. And there was nothing going on outside. I had been outside. I checked on my garbage. I folded up some chairs and placed them down. But this morning, just a few hours later, the outbuilding where my chickens hang out, there were branches on the floor surrounding the entire building. Everywhere, strategically placed bitchcraft. Yes, and the brown water barrel, the water catchment that I was talking about all summer long, how they emptied this 55-gallon barrel 16 times. And then there's one person said, oh, there must be a leak in it. And I said, no, there's no leak in it. I already checked it, because there would be times when a couple of days would go by and the water would not leak out. And it was completely filled, like to the top. Well, the criminals drained it and tossed it to the side, including the base. The base never moves. So they just emptied it, a 55-gallon water catchment. So this is 17 times, and tossed it. So they have an issue with water, trees, anything nature, anything natural, anything that you can catch, grow, these criminals assault. So, I wanted to mention that, you know, whenever I find a new website that I like and I insert it into my phone, I usually insert all the details, whatever details are on the website. So I go to the USPIS, the Postal Inspection, in my phone, and voila, the phone number's missing. I had to go back into the website. I did actually speak to the person there, and about the vandalism of the mailbox. And this is very important to you guys also. So this is the way it works. They want you to report mailbox vandalism, theft, mail, except if it's mail tampering, then you report directly to them. They have a list of things that you can report to them online. The mailbox vandalism is a federal crime, but they want you to report mailbox vandalism, including what happened to mine with the unalived skinned animal dripping with blood in my mailbox, to the local police and the local post office. They're the ones that are supposed to perform the investigation on that. So for the people that have been interested, where is it now? The incident report number for the mailbox incident on November 26th with Deputy Collins is 2024 hyphen 0000 hyphen 4911. Okay, so that's 2024, which is the year, hyphen 0000 hyphen 4991. I spoke to dispatch today. Dispatch, the way it works here is dispatch receives all of the phone calls and then distributes them, disseminates them to the correct places. They keep a log of all the phone calls, so a log of the information. However, they don't have access to the physical reports, what was written in the reports. For that, I have to call the sheriff's department, which I did do this morning, but the individual that I was supposed to speak to was be gone for 2 hours and I haven't called back yet. But anyway, for the individuals that are concerned and have written letters on my behalf, that is the incident number for November 26, 2024, regarding the innards that were left on my driveway and the animal that was stuffed in my post office, in my mailbox. Okay. Subsequently, another person showed me your damaged, vandalized mailbox. You're going to have to report that, unfortunately, to your local police department and to your local postal carrier. Because obviously your local postal carrier can no longer deliver your mail to that mailbox. So you'll have to leave him a note, maybe get copies of photos of the mailbox, which you did send to me, and leave that mailbox next to where the mail is supposed to be picked up so that the postal carrier can immediately see that the post box was damaged. And in some cities and states, if the postal box was damaged because of snow plowing or, anybody doing work on a county road or whatever, you're usually entitled to a fee, a replacement fee. Well, I shouldn't say it's a replacement fee. It's an amount designated by the county or city or township to provide for the replacement of the mailbox. But mailboxes are quite costly these days. Some of these mailboxes are in excess of $100, and that's without the installation and the screws and the nuts and the bolts and your time and all that. And the post, if the post was damaged, the post alone could cost $35. But anyway, so that's the information that I have, the latest update on news. I also have not seen that cat again, that cat that was here a couple of nights ago before it got really cold. Now, normally when cats are dumped on the property, and cats are they're very good at finding hiding spots, I would normally see them during the day, coming out for food or whatever. I have not seen this cat again. I don't know where it is. It's not walking around. It's not sneaking food anywhere. So just in case you were interested. But I received a note on Quora today. Oh, and for the record, in the community section, I call it the community section, but when you go to the main section of the channel, under posts, I just posted 4 new patents that Gabriel, who provided his testimony, provided, thinking that you might be interested in them. I could read them briefly to you, and then you can go and get them for yourself. A method and apparatus for treating auditory hallucinations. That is a patent, a USA patent. Method and apparatus for reducing physiological stress. Patents. A patent for a device for magnetic and electric field shielding. See, guys, they don't induce whatever it is that they want without creating something that can assist in mitigating what they've created. And there is a patent. This appears to be an overseas patent. Protection of living systems from electromagnetic fields. Okay, so you can go to the posts on the home page there and cut and paste that for yourself if you want. So I received a notification that somebody responded to a question on Quora. And the question is, let me just pull it up. I've got a very, very slow laptop these days. By a guy named Matthew. He calls himself the Wizard of Oz, which is so appropriate, right? He posted this November 25. The question is, why don't people ever help those who are being gang stalked? Well, I'm going to rephrase it. Why don't people ever help those who are being targeted, who are on a watch list? Okay. who are being harassed by organized local criminal neighbors. His response is, and I'll add my response too, because everyone is controlled in one way or another. In general, I put people into 5 basic categories. And excuse me for coughing, I'm not a perp. I've just got... This is what the criminals do too. They automatically cause my throat to tickle as I'm speaking. Besides the fact that my throat is dry. And I've got a little bit of post-nasal drip from whatever it is that they are torturing me with while I'm sleeping at night. Like they were hitting my hips last night. The left side of my head was pulsing. But you know the score. So number 1 is the first people who have no idea about us. So they are not aware of the surveillance state that we live in. But at any moment, they too can become a victim. And when they hear stories from targeted individuals, they will easily agree with anyone who says that we are crazy. That includes most people in healthcare. They are purposefully kept unaware. But I will add that a lot of times the people who are not aware that start to hear our stories, it clicks in their mind's eye. They start connecting the dots about the strange events that have been happening in their lives or a loved one or somebody that they know. So I believe it's twofold. I hear what he's saying here, that the first people are the ones that have no idea about it, and once they hear stories from targeted individuals that they agree with anyone who says that we're crazy. I don't agree with that in its entirety. I believe that there are some people that will easily agree and say that we're crazy. But I believe that there are other people that are woken up by targeted individuals' testimonies, etc., and say, oh my goodness, that's what's happening to me. Number 2, the second are controlled people who don't realize they are being controlled. They do not perceive the voices as exterior, but rather as their own thoughts. They're easily manipulated into doing whatever the controller wants them to do, which includes committing crimes against the tabbits? I think that's targets. This is a misspelling. And even going as far as getting them to commit the mass unalivings. They comply without question. Religious zealots, I'm going to say zealots, zeolite, it's not a zeolite, it's a zealot. Religious zealots fall into this category. Number 3, the third are just the average vigilantes who are the boots on the ground, gang stalking, the organized harassing losers, and doing all that gaslighting shit they do. They provoke you in front of people from the first group, so everyone will agree that you're just crazy. They're controlled too, but if chosen to participate to avoid being victimized themselves, which they will eventually become victimized anyway, because they're tools. They are tools of the narcissist. They are appliances just the way we are, but they just are too stupid to know it yet. Number 4. The fourth are the handlers, the watchers, the top-level people who call the shots. They take the government funding for safety and crime prevention, which they use to exploit, extort, frame, institutionalize, and destroy the targets. That's sort of like our county lawyer here, people at the sheriff's department. The attorney general, when they gaslight you and don't return your messages after you filed a complaint. Like in New Jersey, I filed a 61-page complaint and I didn't receive a response, but they just passed the buck and they sent it back to the abusers at the Manalapan Police Department who investigated their own selves and found my 61-page complaint with evidence unfounded. Yeah. And the fifth is the last are us, the victims who became aware and we refused to comply. But I'm going to add something here. And I hear what this guy's saying, the Wizard of Oz. Why don't people ever help those who are being gang stalked, manipulated, stalked? Well, because some of these people sign non-disclosure statements. Yeah, they sign NSA letters that they cannot speak. Otherwise, if there's a $10,000 fine. Now, I don't know this is a fact. This is according to Karen Melton Stewart, who is a retired NSA intelligence analyst, who said that there are national security letters that are signed by some of these people. So they are held by a signed agreement to not rat. Otherwise, they will be fined. And that's a huge fine. $10,000 is a lot of money. But I will say that some of the people that are subscribed to my channel are some of the perpetrators, okay? There are some of the perpetrators, you know, you have different kinds of perpetrators. You have the ones that are actually in some way don't like what they're doing, don't like what's happening. They know that you're innocent, and they will give you little tidbits to help you along the way. They may sign in under a new name or whatever. They're the ones that give you very helpful advice that only an insider would know. Like the insider who left a comment a month or so ago that my neighbors, you know, the jerky ones, the ones that tore down my gate and posted no trespassing signs on my property, who lied to a process server. Yeah, those two, that married couple that are still married. Yeah. Somebody left a comment that they had $1,000 each removed from their bank accounts. Oh well, that's what happens. You never know. Was it true? I don't know. And then, of course, there's the lovely woman who I don't know, who left a comment about the scarlet. You know, my neighbor, the neighbor and her husband who threw the poopy tissues at 12:03 a.m. December 1st. I think it was November 1st, December 1st, whatever. Don't quote me. I've got it all written down. You know. And then she was stalking me back and forth 4 times, yelling at me that I was a heifer, you know, all of that stuff. Oh, and wanting to duke it out with me on the county road over the summertime. Yeah, that one. Or the one that sent me nasty text messages about my using a flashlight on my private property. Yeah, that one. So anyway, yes, so a local neighbor says that she pulls this nonsense with a lot of people in the family, that she wants everybody to go along with her agenda. So thank you so much. And also she said, please don't keep bringing up her daughter, who's not her daughter. Okay, so I haven't been bringing it up. But thank you so much for telling me that there are a lot of people in the neighborhood that don't like her guts either. Okay? Yeah. So there are neighbors in the neighborhood that get co-opted, and not all the other people, even the ones that are involved in the harassment of me, sometimes they don't get along. Sometimes they don't even like some of the neighbors. And I know for a fact a lot of people don't like my neighbors. You know, the one with the black ski mask who tore down my gate, and the one who ended up in the ditch in the county jail. There are a lot of people that can't stand those people. So it's not just me. I'm just the one that's being targeted by a bunch of morons here in rural Kentucky. And of course they choose the best possible losers to do it, right? You feel like you're living in the Twilight Zone. So yeah, so the question on Quora was, why don't people ever help those who are being gang stalked? So I'm converting it to, why don't people ever help the targeted people? Okay, so leave your comments down below. Are there other reasons why people don't want to help targeted people? And please remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. And I hope you enjoyed Pallas Athena, the warrior goddess asteroid. And I will talk to you soon.